Is the Best Western Hotel Opera Drouot actually worth your money, or should you book somewhere else? Today, I'm reviewing our stay at the Best Western Opera Drouot in Paris, and we're going to walk you through everything from check-in, the rooms, amenities, the neighborhood, and whether we'd stay there again. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that this hotel is, in my opinion, in a great location. It is in a neighborhood that feels less touristy and more local. It's got at least 3 metro stops, the Opera House, Gallery Lafayette, all within 10 or 15 minutes walking. And it's just a few steps away from a couple of the passageways, the shopping passageways that Paris is famous for. And they're really fun to explore. And the neighborhood has plenty of restaurants. A lot of people we saw in the restaurants and cafes were speaking French, so it felt like a place locals live in with some boutique hotels scattered in, not a very touristy place. And we felt very safe here. Both during the day and at night, we didn't have any concerns about our personal safety walking around. Obviously, Paris is a city, and no matter where you are, you should always be aware of your surroundings and use common sense, but for us, we felt very secure in this neighborhood. Now, this was actually our second stay at this hotel, and they did I don't want to call it a renovation, I feel like it's more of a refresh, a year ago this time. So when we walked in, it was the lobby was a little bit different. It had lighter woods, and there was a comic book theme going on with graphic novels and comic books in the bookcases, and there was comic strip wallpaper in the elevator. Having said that, the style of the room that we were in this trip was the same as the last one. It had dark Parisian red walls with black and white opera themed wallpaper and felt very classic French to us. The lobby itself is on the smaller side, particularly if you're coming from the US, but there were still quite a few chairs and areas where you could sit and relax in the lobby. And additionally, they have an area where they serve breakfast in the morning, but after breakfast, it's available. There's tables and chairs there, obviously, so that you can use that space as well when they're not serving breakfast. There is also a stand-up piano in the lobby, which I have never seen anybody actually play, so I'm not sure if it's there for decor or whether it's something guests can play. If you're talented in that way, I would probably check with the front desk. The elevator is small. It fit the 3 of us with our suitcases, but we couldn't have squeezed much more in there. It was functioning the whole time we were there though, so we did not ever have to take our luggage up and down the steps. The check-in process was smooth and fast. Staff were friendly but efficient, and miraculously, our room was ready when we checked in, even though we checked in before noon. But there were people who were waiting for rooms. There was a large group in the lobby. I think they were probably waiting for their rooms to be ready. They did take a credit card for incidentals, but didn't charge a deposit. We booked a family room, and we were hoping to get the same room that we had gotten the last time we were there, which was on a higher floor. And when you open the windows, it just had this beautiful view of Sacré-Cœur. I fell down on the job and did not email the hotel to request it. So we ended up in a room on a lower floor without a view. And that room was smaller. It only had 1 day bed, whereas the one we had last time had 2 day beds. If you want to look back at that video, you can look at our Paris playlist, and you could request that room if you wanted that. That really did have an amazing view. Okay, let's take a look at the room. This time we got a room with the double bed and only 1 day bed. It did feel a bit smaller overall. In terms of storage, it is really limited. There's a small area with a hanging bar, but no drawers. So you're probably going to be living out of your suitcase.
As a family room, this one comes with a double bed, and there are outlets on both sides of the bed, 2 on one side and 1 on the other. And it also comes with a day bed for a 3rd person.
The bed was on the firmer side, but still super comfortable, and the pillows were good, so we didn't have any issue getting a good night's sleep. One thing we really liked was that the windows open, and we got a really nice breeze coming through. Just to be aware though, there's no screen. So I guess depending on the time of year, you could run into mosquitoes or some other flying insect issues. We didn't have that problem, but it is something to keep in mind. The room does have an air conditioner though, so if for some reason the weather is not great, you always have the option to turn that on. We had great weather, and so we didn't need to use it. In terms of cleanliness, the room was clean and well maintained, and we didn't really see any issues. Now let's take a look at the bathroom.
So in the bathroom, it's a single sink, single basin sink. It has hair and body gel and soap, bar soap. The step up into shower, so you got to be prepared for that, and it's a high lip. So
the shower though had great water pressure and temperature, which for me is always a plus. We did not have an iron or ironing board in our room, so we had to go down and request that from the desk. They were happy to get it for us, got it right away. We used it and returned it. There is also a safe, which fits my 15-inch laptop, and a hairdryer, and Wi-Fi is included and was very reliable. There's a small desk in the room with a single chair, and that desk is also where the coffee tray is, so the little coffee machine, tea, and the accoutrements with that. So there's not a ton of space, but there is enough space to do some work if you need to do that while you're there. We didn't use the TV at all while we were there, so I can't really speak to functionality or how many channels there were. In terms of security, there is an in-room safe, and that did fit my 15-inch laptop. And overall, we felt really safe in this hotel and in this neighborhood. A couple of things to note though. There's no key card required to go up in the elevator. So I suppose anybody could go on the guest floors. And I think in an effort to be energy efficient, the hallways are very dimly lit unless you're moving through them. So when you come out of your room, it might be very dimly lit, and then once you start walking, the lights turn on and it's very bright. But there is that momentary time where it's a little dimly lit. The hotel does offer a buffet breakfast for 15 euros. It had a few warm dishes, fruits, cheese, meats, bakery products, kind of a standard European spread. Honestly though, I would skip the hotel breakfast. There are some really great options in the neighborhood that we would recommend you explore and would give you a much more sort of Parisian experience. As for amenities, there is no pool, no gym, no guest laundry. So just plan accordingly, and if those are important to you, then you probably need to look at a different option. During our stay, the hotel was really pretty quiet. We didn't get a lot of noise from neighbors. We did get some street noise because we had our window open, but it was more like background ambient noise. It didn't disturb our stay or certainly our sleep. So the biggest pro, as far as I'm concerned, for the Best Western Opera Drouot is the location. There's public transportation. You can walk to several of the touristy sites within 15, at most 30 minutes if you're going to walk all the way up to Sacré-Cœur. The staff was friendly, and I think the value overall was good. We paid $618 for 2 nights in this family room, but we were there during the Paris marathon, so I think that inflated the price a little bit. And because many European hotels have a max occupancy of 2 in their rooms, our family typically has to choose either a family room or a suite or do 2 rooms. So compared to that, I felt like the pricing was really pretty good. Now on the downside, there's no amenities at this hotel. The room is smaller, and probably my biggest con is that there's not a lot of storage. You're pretty much living out of your suitcase. So we really think this hotel is best for singles, couples, small families like ours, anybody who wants to be in a well-located area of Paris with easy access to transportation and plenty of food options nearby. If you're looking for luxury amenities like a pool, gym, spa, etc., I think there are better options out there. Overall, we'd give this a 7 or 8 out of 10, primarily because of location. The neighborhood felt safe and walkable. Staff was great, and it was clean. If you liked or got something out of this video, we'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to Suitcase Packed Will Travel if you're looking for smart travel advice for real people. We're planning a lot more hotel and attraction reviews, money-saving travel tips, and more coming from the US, Europe, and beyond. And if you want recommendations for our favorite food spots around this hotel, let us know in the comments. We found some great ones. Until next time, this is Kathy from Suitcase Packed Will Travel. We'll see you in the next one.